Hello, everybody. Welcome to the tranquil side of Florida. This is Real Estate Matters, the voice of real estate in Flagler County in Palm Coast, Florida for nearly 12 years. I'm Toby Tobin. I'm the publisher of GoToby.com. I'm also a Florida licensed realtor with Grand Living Realty. I'm joined by co-host Anna Maria Long from the Flagler Home Builders Association, which is one of our sponsors. Hello, Anna Maria.
Hi, Toby. How are you?
You feeling talkative today?
I have so much to say.
Good.
I'll try to keep it appropriate.
Good, because, I'm a member of the silent generation.
Dun.
So,
Got to get Mark up on those funny sounds.
Yeah, maybe a laugh track, Mark. Do you have a laugh track?
A little drum or something. Or the cymbal.
So anyway, our sponsors are lead sponsor, Veranda Bay, which is a private developing community along about a mile of intercoastal waterway with a Flagler Beach address. Some premier home builders in Veranda Bay are Olson Homes, AR Homes by Ruttenberg, ICI Homes, and Hulbert Homes. And then recently added Dreamfinders and Toll Brothers, all class acts.
Yes, and you can find them all in the Flagler Parade of Homes, which is happening right now. If you're watching this or listening to it on Saturday when it airs.
Tomorrow's the last day then.
Yes, then tomorrow will be the last day.
Sunday.
Yes, so today's hours are 10 to 5, and the final day, Sunday, the 19th, the hours are noon to 5.
Noon to 5 on Sunday. Okay, we're also sponsored, of course, as I said, the Home Builders Association, but Hammock Community Church. That's my church over on A1A in the Hammock, a small little church in the woods. Services at 9 and 11. It's a traditional church. We have a choir. We don't have a band. And it's all about Jesus and the Bible. And some great folks there. If you come to the 11 o'clock service, that's the one I'm usually at. But I'll be at the 9 o'clock this week. Let's talk about some April. We're mid-month now. We're recording this on the 16th. So the stats are pretty much up to date through yesterday. We have 100, and these are all single-family home numbers as reported through the Flagler MLS system. 116 single-family homes sold with a median price of $339, which is kind of shockingly low. It's well below what we have, what we've been running. Days on market is healthy, though. It's 45 days, so homes that sell are not lingering. And compared to last April, a total of 255 homes were sold, but the median price was $370. And remember, I just said $339 this month. But days on market last year were 64.
Right. So much longer. And that was people saying that nothing was selling and things like that. But so we can see the market's picking up. I think it's also important to note, we're going to get into our under 250 and over 1 million numbers here in just a second, and that contributes to that 339 number. But we're not quite done with the month yet, so we don't have all of our totals in. So we might have some lower numbers from the under 250 or from our starter home market.
A lot depends on what percentage of sales are new construction, because that's an unrealistic number because it doesn't include the high-end custom builds.
Right.
It's predominantly the lower mid-market production builders.
Yeah, a lot of entry homes.
Mm-hmm. So 7 new homes in the under 250,000 category sold. 33 days on market, which means that's an active sector, although 7 is not we've had numbers higher than that in the past.
But mid-month, that's pretty impressive.
Well, true, because most of the production builders close at the end, the last week of the month.
And we're at the under 250 at 7, so unless it's a townhome, it's probably not new construction.
Last month, we closed over 80 sales in the last week of the month.
Dang. Nothing like the last minute. No.
So don't pay any attention to what we're talking about now. Come back in 2 weeks. 5 homes have sold for $1 million or more. 2 of those sold for cash. Days on market for the million plus category was 57. So that's a little above what the overall days on market is. 1,186 homes are listed with MLS compared to 1,347 about a year ago. 394 homes are pending. And so you understand when a transaction starts through the system, it goes from pile to pile to pile. The first pile is listings. It's listed, but it's not under contract yet. So that's the listed number, 1,186. Once a contract is written and accepted by both parties, it moves over to the out of the listing category into the pending category. So 394 homes are in pending. That's compared to 335 last year. So that means there are significantly more pending sales. Days on market for the pending file is 51 days. That's days before it went to contract.
I won't put you on the spot now, but I would love to see the Gindex.
The Gindex is,
current Gindex.
I didn't bring it with me, but
I know.
it's low. It's about 2 something.
Yeah, I figured.
It's as low as it's been in almost 2 years.
Yeah, I thought there might be.
With the number of pending sales, 335 last year. Well, I can compare to last week. The increase in pending sales from the number, not the makeup of it, but the number was equal to the increase in new construction pendings.
Interesting.
So we started out the beginning of the month. There were very few new construction pending, so that's growing. So if you want an interesting article, go to gotoby.com and look at a recent posting. It's the March and first quarter wrap-up report. And there's a nice interactive map there, Google map, that shows all the homes sold in March. And what I did this month that I haven't done in the past, it's more work, but it was worth it. I separated out 4 different price layers on the map. So I've got the under 250, 250 to 500, 500 to $1 million, and then $1 million plus. And it's really neat because with Google Maps, you can turn on and turn off layers. So you can say, let me just look at the $1 million plus layer. And they're all east of I-95, most of them east of the ICW. Then turn that off, turn on the 500 to $1 million. And most of those are between I-95 and the Intercoastal, with a fair number over west of I-95. But then the 250 to 500 is much more prevalent west of I-95, but still a significant number. And a lot, it's instructive because you can look at and they're different colors if you have them all turned on at the same time too. So you can still see
where overlaps are and things.
You can see that the expensive homes are where you expect them to be, along the coast, along the Intercoastal Waterway, around the canals, and around the golf courses.
Yeah, that would check.
It just makes sense. But take a look. So today's topics, I know there's an active lawsuit.
There is.
And more active than you ever thought it would be. But a lawsuit where the Home Builders Association is suing the city of Palm Coast. And the reason they're suing, to make it clear, they're not suing because they're against impact fees.
Right.
Impact fees have a reason. They're suing because a recent change in the impact fee schedule or structure, how they're evaluated, how they're computed, and how big they are. The association is arguing in their complaint that the recent legislation at the state level has been violated. So
yeah, so it's
I know you've got to be
kind of
careful what you
two-parted.
say, but
To a point. So it's two-parted. So we filed our third amended complaint about a week ago, and that has addressed, in part, it's addressed some standing issues that the city had concerns with. So those have been addressed, proving that we've got, well over 80% of the permits coming are being issued to our members, providing associational standing, and now that the fees are able to be paid, since time has passed, and when we filed it, the fees were not in effect yet. So none of our plaintiffs could have paid. So we have new plaintiffs now who've actually paid the fees. No problem. So $4.6 million has been collected just in the parks, the transportation, and the fire. 4.1 million of that has been paid by members of the HBA. So the two parts of our lawsuit, counts 1 and 2 are related to SB 180, and that's the new legislation, which, by the way, the lawsuit that many cities and municipalities were in, and as well as Thousand Friends of Florida, that has been dismissed. The cities cannot sue the state on a constitutional issue, I believe is what I haven't read. I was starting to read it before I came here today, what the judge wrote. So the other two parts of our lawsuit are regarding the Florida Impact Fee Act, which has been law for a really long time. And that our main points there is that you can't double charge. You can't charge capital expenses that have already been paid for. So you can't say like, this is the cost of the parks or this is the cost of the fire personnel, et cetera, that we already have. We can't take that number, divide it up amongst the incoming new residents, and then say that's $100 per person. And then say, here's all the stuff we want and here's how much it's going to cost. And then divide that up amongst the proposed incoming new residents and say that's $500. And you can't take that 500 and that 100 and add it together and call it 600. And that's because you cannot charge for something that already has been paid for.
So the 100 should be out of general funds.
It's actually it should never be calculated at all because it was already paid for. It shouldn't exist as a charge. It's paid for. So that's one thing. And there's a lot of issues. These are just like two big ones that are pretty easy to comprehend and talk about. And the second one is just rational nexus. So basically saying that the fee payer needs to have a direct benefit for the fee. So easy example, in the park study, there's 3 neighborhood parks. 2 of them, they propose where they might be. The third one, no location. How can you benefit from something that they don't know where it's going? Exactly. And then obviously if you're moving into not that area, then you're not getting that benefit. So the fee schedule should at the minimum be adjusted for that. So
by location with the benefit.
Yeah. So that's the quick and easy version.
Okay, good. Well, you ran out of versions.
I did.
Just in time. We need to take a quick break, folks. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to the second half of Real Estate Matters. Thanks for staying with us. We're talking about the current lawsuit between the Home Builders Association and the City of Palm Coast over impact fees. And I'll hand that back to Anna Maria.
Yeah. So two last things I want to wrap that up with. When a municipality is expanding their parks or like the Southern Rec Center, for example, or the golf course, there's a effect on the people, the taxpayers, right? And you could argue that it's a positive effect because they get to partake in it. But what's the negative effect? The negative effect is that you have to pay for it. So there's an ongoing cost of all of these things. So it's really easy to say, let the new residents pay for it. But we have to remember that somebody is going to have to maintain it. For example, recently currently they are replacing some of the artificial turf in Holland Park. The Parks Fund does not have the money to do that. And they should, because it should be a self-sustaining fund.
Yeah.
Instead, they had to take it from capital expenses. And so they're borrowing from other funds. And yet, let's go build more parks. So that's a little problematic, right? And then our taxes have to pay for it still. Roads expand, we have to pay for them. So do we need 8 lanes on Belterre? Or do we need better traffic signals and more turn lanes and some expansions here and there? Do our arterial roads actually need improvement? That's really where the question lies. Secondly, as you said, Toby, the Home Builders Association does not oppose impact fees carte blanche. In fact, we recently supported the utility impact fee, which was super controversial because it also raised rates for residents. And I also am a resident, and that part kind of sucks. I don't like my water bill going up. I don't like any of my bills going up.
I'll see it isn't. If social media makes the distinction, there are only a few people who make the distinction, but your quote water unquote bill is
Yes.
also your stormwater management system bill. It's your
Garbage.
sewer bill. It's your garbage bill. So it's a total. It's a utility bill. It really, we
Yeah.
should call it that, not call it a water bill.
Yeah, our utility bills went up, but our impact fees and our not only our impact fees, they added a bunch of additional fees that were prior not in cost recovery. So the building industry took on a ton of fees with that through the city of Palm Coast, and did we want to? No, but was it necessary? And we said yes. Okay, we support that because it's the right thing to do. Absolutely, and we did so publicly. So I just want to say we're not just carte blanche against stuff. If it's necessary, it's necessary.
What you're talking about leads into our other main topic today, because impact fees go up because municipalities hire impact fee consultants to come up with a study that justifies raising impact fees. No impact fee consultant ever gets rehired because they recommended a decrease
That's right.
in impact fees. But numbers can be factual without telling the truth, and they can be manipulated too, and the truth is not always intuitive. So the classic birthday bet, and I took statistics in when I was in college.
To no surprise, I did not.
So I'll tell this story
Please
then. But this is a classic birthday bet. And I'll bet you that if I'm in a room with a bunch of people, and I've done this, and I've made money doing this, I've gotten,
Okay, I'm listening. Do tell.
I've gotten a lot of free beer off of this bet. But I'll bet you that at least 2 people in this room have the same birthday. That's day and month, not
Not the year, yeah.
the same birthday. So how many people do I need to have in the room so that I've got at least a 50-50 chance of winning that bet? And what would your most people say, well, half of 365. The real number is 23 people. It's slightly better than a 50-50 bet for me with just 23 people.
Why?
That's counterintuitive. And at 30 people,
I can read the notes, but I still don't understand the why.
I will, but the people on the radio can't read the notes.
They can if they're on gotoby.com.
The odds of winning are 70.6% with just 30 people. And at 57 people, the chances of my losing are less than 1%. The reason is that everybody thinks that bet means that person number 1 says, okay, July 6th. That what are the odds that someone else will be July 6th? Well, that's not the bet. The bet is the second person is April 3rd. So then the third person can't be July 6th, and they also can't be April 3rd, but they're September 11th. Then the fourth person can't be September 11th, July 6th, or April. And it's a quirk in statistics. Probability, you multiply fractions. Fraction times a fraction. And the answer is always smaller than either of the two numbers.
Because you're reducing the odds every time a person answers the question.
Yeah, so it's just counterintuitive, but the consultants can cherry pick numbers.
All the time. Oh gosh, I've seen.
So I came up with some examples. Here's these are true statements. March, Flagler County home sale prices rose 58.8% from 2020 to 2025 or 2026. Another true statement, March, Flagler County home prices rose 78.8% from 2020 to 2026. March, Flagler County home prices rose 24.2% from 2020 to 2026. March, Flagler County home prices rose 39.8% from 2020 to 2026. Those are different statements, but they're all true. And how can that be? So the answer
Depends
is,
where you get the data.
well,
What the data set? Well, sorry, what data you're looking at?
I didn't describe the data very well. So look at it this way. The 58.8% is just the raw median price increase from 2020 to 2026. That's a fact. The 78.8% is the average price increase. And a lot of people think average and median are just two ways of saying the same thing. It's not.
They're not the same. Go back to second grade.
They're different measures. 24.2% is the median price increase adjusted for inflation. Then 39.8% is the average price increase adjusted for inflation. The same game, you can play the same game by comparing the number of homes sold or the number of building permits issued without adjusting for population growth.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And yeah, I mean, everything, even when you look at like the impact fees and what the impact fee consultants are saying, well, you need this, you need this many whatevers, parks, fire stations, etc. Well, that's only true if the residents you think are coming actually come.
yeah. Well, like this, the school impact fee is
my favorite.
It's over $5,000 per single family home.
$54.50.
And there's been a decrease over the last 10 years in local public school enrollment.
Which we predicted.
So the mainstream press reporting and social media seldom adjust for inflation. Why? Because it would diminish the strength of their argument.
Right. We need inflammatory statements to catch the audience.
Yeah. And another cherry picking's another diversionary tactic. And I admittedly chose March 2020 to March 2026 because that period shows particularly large increases. But if I had chosen different months or different time periods, I could have told an entirely different story.
Like 2008 to 2013 wouldn't have been.
It would have been down instead of up.
You would have been telling a sad story.
So how many times have you heard social media or politicians bark about how often developers have been allowed to increase density in their projects? That's a real hot topic right now locally.
Even though we've told you about all the reasons density is actually a good thing for the environment.
But they cherry pick their numbers. Here's a few numbers they don't include that I double checked just this morning. The Hammock Dunes Community Development District, which is Hammock Dunes, Hammock Beach, Island Estates, Yacht Harbor.
That general vicinity.
The other side of the river. But their original residential entitlement is currently 53% less than originally approved. And the primary use has changed from high-intensity multifamily, which it was originally designed for, with condos as high as 20 stories. Now it's single-family homes mostly.
Sorry, I'm laughing because I think about the HOA meetings where people are like, I can no longer see the direct line of water because you put your front door there. So and when you open it, my view is blocked.
So multifamily now is restricted to 12 stories. And 35 years after the origination of the CDD, Hammock Dunes CDD, 25% of the single-family lots remain vacant. Now, there's a lot of construction going on there.
Yeah, but
and
still.
they're all $1 million homes now, which is great for the tax base.
And they're still 53% less than originally approved.
Yeah, well, we gotta wrap it up here. But the Del Webb community that's being cleared on State Road 100, originally planned and approved for 2,411 residential units, now is at the developer's request. Was reduced to 750 single family only.
Didn't see that headline.
So for 20 years, I've been reporting home sales stats for Flagler County, and I've consistently used MLS as my data source, but that leaves, I admittedly am forgetting other things. Even Flagler County Property Appraiser's Office and Clerk of Court's Office cannot be relied upon to have. They've got the numbers they're given, but they're not the right numbers. So we.
But you disclosed that.
Yep. Right. So ask your favorite artificial intelligence this question. Tell me about Toby, Tobin, in Flagler County. You'll see why you should call me for first before buying or selling property in Flagler County. You'll get a quality referral to a top-notch agent or builder while keeping me as your consultant throughout the transaction at no additional cost to you.
And video podcasts of Real Estate Matters are available on gotoby.com. Just click on podcasts on the top navigation bar. And show notes are included so you can see what we didn't get to on the show. Also on gotoby.com is the Flagler County interactive map of residential developments and subdivisions updated regularly. And if you have a question or a suggestion for Real Estate Matters or gotoby.com,
give me a call. I answer my own phone, 386-931-7124, or you can email me at toby@gotoby.com. Thanks for being with us this week. Look forward to seeing you back next week. I'm Toby Tobin, and I approve this show.